at the soccer game, first time, with my beautiful wife, her ex, and all the kids. And just to put a point of reference or a word of reference, it was weird. Welcome to The Blended. My name is Erick Armstead. I'm your host. Super excited to be on our second show. I'm here with Ann, my cohort.
I'm your partner in crime. I level you out.
Okay, yeah.
I kind of play the middleman and balance the other perspective that you may not have.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. I guess I can be one-sided sometimes. So this avoids me from being one-sided. Super excited also about what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about my experience of meeting or being part of my wife's ex.
Every couple's going to have to go through who has kids outside of like a widower or something, right? And even then you're going to have to meet grandparents or some sort of family member from the other, side of the family. So I like to think of it as just like a first date can be awkward, you're going to have an awkward first encounter. Everyone has to go through it, and you just have to be cordial and nice. No one's thrilled about it. We don't have to pretend to be thrilled about it. And this isn't comfortable for anyone. So we don't have to come in trying to pretend like everything's hunky-dory because we know it's not.
Definitely not.
And so it is what it is. You come in, hey, how you doing? I'm so nice to meet you. Boom. That's really it. If the natural conversation flows from there, great. If not, you go to your side, he goes to his, and whatever.
What I thought of this whole encounter was I was prepping probably for like a week, because it's a vulnerable time to be in. It's a vulnerable situation, right? Like, my wife is getting ready to be next to the dude that she produced 2 kids with. Ew. Ew. That was like, really? That thinking about it all week, that didn't feel good.
Your first reaction was, they used to have sex.
Absolutely.
Like,
I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, it's gross.
And that was not my first reaction. My first reaction is, I'm just trying to be careful, make her feel comfortable. My husband's trying to make me feel comfortable. You're my then boyfriend, now husband's trying to make me feel comfortable. I'm more like, I'm just trying to manage everyone's level of comfortability.
That makes me feel like I'm cuckoo, because I'm looking at the eyes. I'm like, did she look at him? Did he look at her? Do they have a language that I don't know about?
Okay, so yeah, they're gonna have a language you don't understand. Of course, they're together for 10 years.
That we were in the same place, getting ready to cheer for these kids that were getting ready to play a sport. What does that look like? That looks like, they're at the house, so we're getting prepared. I'm a sports guy. I'm a fitness guy. I'm telling the daughter, hey, make sure you bump her with the shoulder. Like, we're going through this whole thing. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, all right, how is she gonna respond when we get there? I'm thinking, how is my wife gonna respond? There's 99 different things that's running through my mind at that point. And I probably would put the big insecure on top of that. Like, insecure over whatever. 99 things that, of course, don't have now, but back then, it was stressful, to say the least.
Right. You're preparing the kids to play this game.
Right.
So you're managing the relationship with the kids.
Right.
You're managing your relationship with your girlfriend, and then you have to manage, like, how am I gonna react to him being in his presence for more than 10 seconds exchanging the kids. Right. Because now we're gonna be here for like 45 minutes, an hour waiting on this game to end.
Right.
And then do I, as a stepfather, do I play that daddy role here and cheer on and give them advice and say, no, you shouldn't have done that, or yes, next time do this? Or do you let dad do that because dad's there? And then on your wife's end, she's managing, I gotta be respectful of my boyfriend, I gotta respect him, I gotta be mindful of my kids because they're gonna be watching every move I make with Erick and my ex.
Right.
I gotta be mindful of my ex because he gave me my children.
Right.
There's a lot of balls in the air.
Right. We're there, right? And we're parking the car. We get out the car, and my wife grabs my arm like she normally grabs my arm. Well, of course, hypersensitive me, I feel her energy, right? Because this is my woman, I love her. I feel her energy, and I translate her energy to a language that only I understand the language. Like, it's my personal language. And for me, that felt like fear. It wasn't fear. It was the 99 other emotions she was going to, but we're talking about what I felt at the moment. So of course, I'm like, you okay? Everything okay? You sure? You positive? Because you know I'm King Kong here, right? So you know you straight, right? So of course, she's like, of course I know I'm straight. I'm like, okay. But now I really just made her nervous. I really just added to the already insurmountable like pressure that she has of juggling everything that's going on.
So much of being a step parent is trial and error, right?
Correct.
Because remember, you're going through this for the first time, and she's going through this for the first time.
Right.
Everyone's having their first time.
Right.
Even the dad who's having to meet you for the first time and having to see his ex, somebody else, for the first time.
Right.
Everyone's having their firsts.
Right.
So it just is what it is, and as long as everyone's respectful, everything should be okay.
Right. Yeah. You have to let the pieces fall where they may, and you have to try your best not to read in to things that are just gonna be natural. And it's not just about you. Back then, it was about me. To be honest, it really was I was frustrated. I was nervous. And I know I probably pushed that off on the kids too, because now, even within my eyes and my energy, maybe they looked and said, who do I go to? Maybe I contributed to that, right? But some of my advice would be, you have to really be prepared to know that it's not about you at that moment. And if you can fix your mind to say, it's about the kids. And dare I say, it's about the woman at that point, because she's going through things that you're not going through.
So you took a very how is this going to impact me? I've been, anxiety ridden about this for a week. I'm worried about how the kids are going to react, how she's going to react, how he's going to react. Now you're here, you've arrived, you're cheering the kids on, and then what?
My heart is good, so I'm not going to, I respect, I can't believe I just said that out loud, but I respect the fact that they're his children, so I'm going to cheer, but I'm not going to try to overshadow him, right? Because I do respect that those are his babies. My intention has always been, my wife always calls me a protector, so my intention is always to let her know, you with King Kong right now. Then nothing can hurt you, nobody can do anything bad to you. But I don't know if that's what came out when I was stressing her out about the whole situation and how we were going to prepare for it. And so I don't know what came out of that. You agonize more than you need to. I think in our first podcast, we talked about really big on communication. And communication, speaking your truth out loud is key. If I could do it all over again, I would say, dang, babe, I'm really uncomfortable. Here's why I'm uncomfortable. I would have asked her direct questions. Do you feel nervous? Do you feel intimidated by him? Is there a reason for me to feel like I need to protect you? And I would have asked specific questions, and I would have looked for specific answers. And then trusted from there. Okay, this is what it is. And so because this is what you tell me, then I can navigate differently. And I think that is one of the corrections that I would have made going into that. Yes, it's stressful. Yes, it's super uncomfortable. Remember, we just talked about, ew, I'm looking.
Right.
But all the other things that come, you can't control that, right? This is the woman that you've decided. She's decided for you. You've decided for each other. You're going to be together. So you can't control that. What you can control is how you deal with it and the level of communication that you're going to have when these things come up, and they're going to come up a lot.
There has to be a proper conversation about how you're going to deal with this as a couple. Just like in the first podcast we discussed, you have to have the conversation with your partner and say, I'm going to discipline these kids.
Right.
And you're not going to like it sometimes.
Right.
But if you want me to be dad, I got to be dad 100%.
If I'm going to be dad, then I'm going to be dad 100%. There's levels to this, right? So with a level of respect. But we raise our own kids, our biological kids, with a level of respect. So if we have that, then, and we say, this is what I'm going to be, this is what I'm going to do, then the communication has to be tight. And it has to be all day. You cannot not have communication all day, every day. You have, because there's all, like you said earlier, they're all first. It's amazing how many first you have when you are in a blended family. Any form of blended family, you have a bunch of first. And how you handle those first is what's gonna lay out your relationship, how you handle them. So I would just say communication, communication, communication.
It's like going on a blind date, going on a first date. You don't know what to expect.
Right.
It's nerve-wracking, and yeah, you're insecure.
Because
that's a reality. Right. That's a reality.
Absolutely.
That's not anything that it's like some, super subjective feeling. Everyone's going to be insecure about that.
Right.
In what form or fashion. What I believe you did and what everyone should do is put the kids first. And that's everybody. Right. That's mom, that's dad, that's bio dad. Everyone has to put the kids first.
Right. Remember, we're building relationships. Relationships is relationships. You build a relationship with an adult, you build a relationship with kids, and you're building it on this mutual respect and trust. And how are they going to react? I know one of them was going to look at me. One of them was older, so one of them is going to be like, I'm out of here, shoot. And then the other one might treat you like she's in more conflict because she's younger, right? So, I mean, there's so many different thought patterns that is going through my mind and my wife's mind because they're kids. So because the younger one has more of an affinity for me because she's young and I'm a shiny marble, because she has that affinity for me, I also don't want her to get her feelings hurt. I'm also, because I'm a protector by nature, I'm also wanting to make sure that the affection or the love or the high like that she has for me, that her dad's not going to look at her displeasingly, right? Because the older one is like, that's not really a big problem. The younger one, she's like a baby almost. So that was something else I think that played into my hypersensitive feeling when I was in that moment. We got that out of the way. Now let's go into the next one because there's another one coming up, right? We got graduation, right? So, but the years tell a different story. Whether it's a soccer game or whether it's basketball or graduation, we know that these are tracks that are being laid in these young people, right? These are tracks that their level of, when they tell you that their stomachs hurt and you just give them Pepto-Bismol, but really we know it's stress, because what we're going through is exactly what they're going through. And so that's something more that we delve into, understanding, hey, we're adults, but they have feelings too. I was preparing for a week. They might have been preparing for a month. How am I gonna interact with Mr. So-and-so when I'm around my dad? And those are things that I think of now, in 2020. I don't think I thought of that back then. I wish I had, because maybe I would have prepped them better. Maybe my words would have been more geared toward them. But yeah, that is something that why the blend is so important, because it's really, we will begin to delve into all the nuances of being part of this blended family in this circle.